If you have followed me for the last 5 years, I think I'm one of the biggest pushers and fans of the European Capital Markets Union. And for a couple of reasons. Number one, Christine and Pascal both said it. I think we are coming into an era over the next 10 years, and forget about the banks, from a corporate industry where operating expenditure is, so to say, replaced by a priority by capital expenditures. The number of investments which corporates have to do in Europe in order to be in the game, in competition, from a digital, from a sustainability, ESG point of view, is tremendous. And I think those companies who are investing will be successful. Those companies who are not following on AI and ESG will not be there anymore in 10 or 15 years. And therefore, the necessity to invest is huge. We can't do it, as Christine is saying, even if I would love to do it. And I think, by the way, the European banks have done a tremendous job in cleaning up, being robust, healthy, sustainable, profitable. The numbers Christine just mentioned are impossible to stem for us. Today, unfortunately, 70% of the financing of the German Mittelstand is done via bank loans. In the US, it's actually 25 or 30%. The rest is coming from the capital markets. If you now think about how much investments will be necessary in the next years, the bank balance sheets, as robust as they are, will not be sufficient. And we also talked about the public finances, doesn't work. And therefore, we definitely need the European Capital Markets Union. And therefore, I'm really, I think, the one who is again and again saying we need to make progress. Now, two things to this. Number one, I think we need to do a better job, including the banks, explaining why we need these capital markets. I think that in particular in Europe, in my home country, there is also from the society point of view, still a kind of a distrust in capital markets. And that may go back to the 2008 financial crisis. And we can criticize it, but it doesn't help. We need to do a better job in explaining why it is actually necessary for keeping the wealth and the prosperous situation which we have in Europe. And I think this is one thing, it's education of the people, why it's so necessary in order to get Europe competitive and let it stay competitive. And the next item is, and I'm sure our partner to the left will talk about that, when we think about European capital markets, we think about kind of the deep markets for whether it's equity issuances, whether it's bond issuance. But usually, if you get a deep capital market, then the sidearms are coming. And what I mean with sidearms is venture capital, private equity. Other people, other players are coming to the game. And this is, again, necessary in order to finance new technologies, new emerging industries which are coming. And therefore, I think we also need to see the Capital Markets Union not only as the financing pot for traditional industries, but actually as our chance to attract new industries like the tech industry into Europe. We have the talent. We have the excellence. If you look at industrial AI, some German companies, European companies are leading in the world. But we also need then the underlying financing. And therefore, my heart is leaping if I hear that.